Welcome back. Let us continue with the remaining MCQs from the biology KCET mock test 1. So let's take up question number 21. Silencing of a specific mRNA translation could be achieved through A. Antisense RNA, B. RNA interference technique, C. Both A and B, D. Microinjection. So here the technique given is of the RNA interference. With that, we can make the plants resistant to the root nematodes. Okay, so during this technique, antisense RNA goes and blocks the mRNA in the parasite, that is in the nematode gut cells. So therefore, both A and B will be the right answer. Next, question number 22. Match for M and N with species area relationship shown in the graphic representation below and choose the correct option. So here this graph is showing two curves, one M and another N, which are drawn on the graph of area versus the species richness. So if you remember the formulas given for these two curves, one is species richness S equal to Ca to the power Z, and another is for the straight N curve, log S equal to log C plus Z log A. So therefore, option A is correct. Question number 23. In which type of vascular bundles are xylem and phloem present at the same radius, on the same radius, xylem and phloem? Okay. So the options are radial, close, conjoint, exarch. We know that such vascular bundles, they are called as conjoint. C is the right answer. Close and open, that depends on whether the meristem in between these two is absent or present. Okay. So radial means radial arrangement. On one radius there is a phloem, on another radius xylem. But here on the same radius, that is the conjoint. Question number 24. When pollen grain is shed at 3-celled stage, name the cells it contains. That pollen grain contains one vegetative cell or the tube cell, right? And two gamete cells, that is male gametes formed by the generative cell. Division of the generative cell produces two male gametes, and the one cell, that is the vegetative cell. So therefore, option A will be the right answer here. Question number 25. The following factors indicate improved productivity, that is improved reproductive health of the society. The following factor is about the reproductive health. Remember, the following factors indicate improved reproductive health of the society. Choose the correct option. 1. Better detection and cure of diseases related to the reproductive health. Then 2. Better postnatal care, that is after the delivery of the child. And then 3rd, medically assisted deliveries which are carried out by the assistance of the medicinal practitioners, physicians, gynecologists, right? And then increased MMR, Fourth, increased MMR. What is that? That is maternal mortality rate. So increased maternal mortality rate is not at all connected with improved reproductive health, right? Because it is a negative point here. Before the medical field could improve, develop as it is today, before the program of health of the child and the pregnant woman's health was taken into account, and the new strategies, new plans were made, and improved hospitals were developed to take care of the pregnant woman and newborn and young children. So before this could happen, there was high rate of maternal mortality rate, that is death of the mother at the time of pregnancy or during the parturition. So that cannot be the part of the improved reproductive health. So therefore, the correct statements will be 1, 2, 3. So B should be the right answer. Now, taking up next question. Both male and female have normal vision through their, that is, the male and female have normal vision, though their fathers were colorblind, and mothers did not have any gene for color blindness. That means their mothers were normal, but their fathers were colorblind. Okay. The probability of their daughters becoming colorblind is, so the option here given: A 0%, B 15%, C 25%, D 50%. So here right answer will be 0%, because the gene of the color blindness will be passed on from the father to the daughter. Okay. So now here both male and female have normal vision. That means they are normal, but maybe carrier. Carrier, in which case only the female can be carrier. So female can be carrier. So one recessive allele will be there on the X chromosome, okay, for color blindness, and the male cannot be a carrier, either normal or affected. So here normal means male do not have any gene of the defective nature on the X chromosome for vision, so normal vision. So that means from the female, the possibility of passing on this gene for color blindness will be to the male child in the next generation. So if at all any of the child gets the color blindness, that will be the son born to these couples, okay, not the daughter. So therefore 0%, because daughters will receive the colorblind gene only from the, in most of the cases, father's side. Okay, daughters will become colorblind only when they receive the colorblind gene from both the parents. From the mother also the colorblind gene should come, and from the father also colorblind gene should come. That means both the X chromosome should have the defective alleles of color blindness. Then only the female child or the daughter can be colorblind. So therefore 0%. Question number 27. Synthesis of food in C4 pathway occurs in the chlorophyll of, you know about the C4 plants, there the photosynthesis is mainly taking place, that is the synthesis of the carbohydrates is taking place in the bundle sheet. So the right answer is bundle sheet C. Question number 28. The number of mitotic cell divisions required to produce 256 cells from a single cell is. The right answer here is B, 8 cycles of the cell division. How to find out? Each time 2 daughter cells are formed. So 2 raised to n will be equal to the total number of cells produced, 256. So you have to find out the value of n so that 2 raised to that number will give 256. So if you calculate the value of 2 raised to 8, right? So it will be 256. So that means 8 cycles of the cell division take place. That is when one cell divides into 2, one division has taken place. Then these 2 cells divide again into 4. That is the cell cycle number 2. Then cell cycle number 3. Like this, 8 cycles will take place. Then only we get the total number of cells. After the 8th cell division, it will be 256. Question number 29. Succus entericus is secreted by. Succus entericus is the the juice, digestive juice produced from the intestine. Okay, and we know that the wall of the intestine has got crypts of Leiber-Kuhns in between the villi, and these are the glands which produce the succus entericus. There are Brenner's glands also in the small intestine, that is in the duodenum region. Brenner's glands mainly produce large amount of the mucus and alkaline fluid, okay, but not the digestive enzymes. So therefore, the digestive enzymes containing succus entericus, it's mainly coming from crypt of Leiber-Kuhn. So A should be the right option. Then question number 30. Residual volume is greater than vital capacity, greater than tidal volume, lesser than tidal volume, greater than inspiratory volume. Now the residual volume is the amount of air left inside the lungs after forceful expiration. Okay, it is always greater than the tidal volume. Remember that? So B is the right answer. Question number 31. Bt brinjal is a transgenic crop. In this, Bt refers to, as we know, Bt refers to the species of bacteria which produces the toxin that will kill the insect pests. So therefore, Bacillus thuringiensis is the right answer. D is the right answer. Question number 32. The brain stem is made up of. Brain stem is actually made up of the midbrain, pons, and medulla oblongata. It does not involve the cerebellum. Okay. Usually the midbrain and the hindbrain we take up, but in the hindbrain, actually, pons and medulla oblongata only are contributing to the brain stem along with the midbrain. So therefore, B is the right answer. Let us look into the diagram of course. Okay, let's take up the diagram of brain stem. Okay. Now here in this diagram is the diagram of the brain, and the brain stem forming part of it is from here to here. That is, it is taken out here to the detailed feature of it. Enlarged one. This part is the midbrain with the corpora quadrigemina on the dorsal side, and ventral side the crura cerebri. Okay. Then this is the pons and medulla oblongata. See, the cerebellum is not taken here. Okay, this is the brain stem. Brain stem is very, very important part of our brain, because out of 12 pairs of cranial nerves, 10 pairs of cranial nerves are arising from this brain stem region only. Okay, even if the forebrain is damaged, a person can survive. Breathing can continue. He might be paralyzed, lying on the bed, but he will survive. But if the brain stem is damaged, person will die out. Okay. Question number 33. Column 1 contains terms and column 2 contains the definitions. Match them correctly and choose the right answer. So in column 1 here, parturition, gestation, ovulation, implantation, and conception is given, and the definitions are given in the column 2. P, that is attachment of zygote to endometrium, that should be implantation. So D should be connected to P. Release of egg from Graafian follicle, that is ovulation. So C should be connected to Q. Then delivery of baby from uterus. So that is the parturition. So A should be connected to R. And duration between pregnancy and birth, that is taken as the gestation period. So B should be connected with S. Then formation of zygote by fusion of egg and sperm, that can be taken as the conception T. Okay, let's take up the options given there. Yes, D will be the right answer. R, S, Q, P, T, A, B, C, D, E in correct order it is. Okay, now question number 34. The tissue culture medium. In tissue culture medium, the source of phytohormones is, remember that in tissue culture medium, coconut milk is used as the source of phytohormones because it contains the plant hormones. Question number 35. In a typical heart, EDS volume is 120 ml of blood, and ESP value is 50 ml of blood. The stroke volume, SV, is, we know that the stroke volume is the total volume of blood pumped out by the heart during one heartbeat. Okay, that stroke volume can be further calculated from an equation where we have to look into EDS, that is the end diastolic volume. It is end diastolic volume when it is the diastole, the ventricles are relaxing, the blood is entering into the ventricles, that volume, minus end systolic volume, that is when the ventricles contract, pushing the blood into the arteries. So what is that volume of the blood entering into the two main arteries? So we have to subtract that volume from EDS. So EDS is 120 ml given, and ESV is 50. So SV equal to EDS minus ESV. So right answer will be A, 120 minus 50 equal to 70 ml. Even if you don't know this equation, you can logically come to the right answer by knowing the volume of stroke, the stroke volume, the value of the stroke volume. We know that the standard value of the stroke volume is 70 ml, right? And to calculate the cardiac output, what we do, we multiply stroke volume into the rate, heart rate, or number of heartbeats per minute. So then we get the amount of blood which is pumped out from the heart in 1 minute. So here it is the amount of blood pumped out from the heart in 1 heartbeat. So that stroke volume we can find out by this equation. And that is always 70 ml. So by that we can remember. That is the explanation again. EDS, end diastolic volume, ESV, end systolic volume, and hence the stroke volume will be equal to EDS minus ESV. Question number 36. The term southern blotting refers to. Southern blotting, always remember, is the technique of transferring the DNA fragments from the electrophoresis gel to the nitrocellulose sheet, and that's what's called as southern blotting. So right answer here is the option C. Question number 37. Which of the following is not related to guttation? Guttation, we know that the loss of the water in the form of liquid from some grasses and some other monocot plants which have got the special openings, hydropods, we call hydropods, through which the liquid is sent out, which contains some dissolved substances. It is impure, you can say, not pure water. So let's take up the options. So here A, B, C, D is missing, but it is in correct order here. A, water is given out in the form of droplets. Water given out is impure. Water is given out during daytime. Guttation is of universal occurrence. Here remember, this guttation takes place in the night time. So the incorrect option will be water is given out during daytime. The next, guttation is of universal occurrence. Which one of the following is an example of oxidative decarboxylation? Oxidative decarboxylation means there is removal of carbon dioxide also and generation of NADH2. Okay, NADH2, that is nothing but removal of the 2 hydrogen atoms from the substrate. It can be taken as oxidation. So therefore, here the right option will be conversion of pyruvic acid to acetyl coenzyme A. Okay, so C is the right option. Going to the diagram. Yes, this diagram represents the same reaction. See here, this is the pyruvic acid or pyruvate in this cytoplasm. Now, when it enters into the mitochondria, what changes take place? Carbon dioxide is released, so decarboxylation is taking place, and 2 hydrogen atoms are removed from it. So NADH2 will be formed, and in presence of enzyme, coenzyme A, that joins with it, forming the acetyl coenzyme A. Because when COO, that is carbon dioxide, is removed and 2 hydrogen atoms are removed, pyruvic acid becomes acetic acid. Acetic acid reacts with coenzyme A, forming acetyl coenzyme A. So it is oxidative decarboxylation. Okay. Now question number 39. Which of the following options show the characters of mycoplasma? Mycoplasma are the smallest living cells, as we know. What are the options? Let us see. Smallest living cells without cell wall surviving with oxygen. Smallest living cells with cell wall surviving with oxygen. Smallest living cells without cell wall surviving without oxygen. So that should be the right answer. The D is the smallest living cells with cell wall surviving without oxygen. So with cell wall is wrong because the mycoplasma do not have cell wall, only the cell membrane is there, and they can survive even in absence of oxygen. So smallest living cells without cell wall survive without oxygen. C is the right answer. Question number 40. Enzymes bring about the catalysis of chemical reactions by. Enzymes bring about the catalysis of biochemical reactions by what? A. Increasing the activation energy required for reaction. Decreasing the activation energy required for reaction. Hydrolysis of bonds between the elements of reactants by forming bonds between the elements in the product. Now, which is the right option here? Think about it. Enzymes are very important because they decrease the activation energy required for a reaction to take place. For example, one reaction we can carry out in a laboratory by heating, supplying a lot of heat. Then the reaction completes and products are formed. Similar reaction taking place in our body, that much heat cannot be provided because our body temperature maximum is 37 degrees Celsius. So at that temperature, the reaction should occur. So therefore, the heat required for the reaction has to be decreased. The energy required, activation energy we call it, that has to be reduced, which should take place at the body temperature level. So that function is done by the enzymes. So that's why B is the right answer. Okay, 40 questions are over. Remaining 20 questions we'll take up in the next session. Till then, bye-bye.